Welcome to the birthplace here of our Hyundai i20 AP4, a car that's been built by Force Motorsport in conjunction with Hyundai New Zealand, and if I don't mind saying so myself, a car that's going to look spectacular on the New Zealand rally stages. So this car's been built to AP4 regulations, and while not fully compliant with the new rules, it gives us a really good base to start developing this new concept, and out on the New Zealand stages we'll develop this car over the course of the year to be fully AP4 compliant. The two main things that make this car not fully compliant at the moment is the engine and the aero kit, but the chassis is 100% AP4. So what is AP4? It's a new set of regulations introduced here in New Zealand and Australia, and it's still a concept that's work in progress, but it's a concept that's going to allow cars to be built at a lower cost, but also producing cars that look spectacular like this Hyundai. Let's have a closer look at this car and see what makes it tick. Starting with these massive alloy uprights, machined out of solid block of alloy, these will be as strong as you can get, lowering the running costs with a part that shouldn't require much maintenance. All the suspension arms throughout the car are a very simple design, adding to the strength and lowering the running costs, but also adding a lot more adjustability. Much like a WRC car, we're running long travel dampers, and while any model or damper can be catered to fit these cars, we have a very neutral up and down mounting that will allow for a very neutral car, which will make for an easy car to drive for all levels of drivers. The driveline is a very strong part of this car. We're running a 6-speed SATIF gearbox along with SATIF mechanical front and rear diffs. The mechanical aspect actually adds a lot of simplicity to the car, reducing the running costs, but at the same time very tunable with different ramp options and different settings available within inside the differentials. Very similar to what's used in world rally cars, and in fact this gearbox is from a rallycross car. So the general theory with this sort of car is to build something that's very strong and very reliable, and this crosses over to parts of the driveline such as the drive shafts and prop shafts. They've been overcompensated, which will provide strong components and components that shouldn't require so much maintenance. So under the bonnet we have a 1.8 litre turbo Hyundai engine producing around 330 horsepower, which will be a lot of fun to drive. Now of course the AP4 rules stipulate a 1.6 litre engine must be used, but in the short time frame we had to prepare this car, 1.8 will get us to the start line for the first rallies, but of course throughout the year we'll develop a 1.6 with Force Motorsport. So here in the cockpit of the i20, and I must say this is a proper rally car. Very similar to what we have in the WRC car. Very, again, simple, clean, just the essentials exist in here. But it's been stripped of everything. We have a great pedal box, sequential shifter, handbrake with the clutch disconnect for the rear diff. We have just the controls we need on a really easy to use central dash, also with the necessary switches on the steering wheel, and of course a Motec gear display. So with this car we've used the body parts from the World Rally Car, and while this isn't allowed with the AP4 regulations, what it does allow for is a good looking car that's a good promotional tool here in New Zealand to align what we're doing in the WRC to national rallying. But the body shell itself has started from a standard i20 road car, been put on the jig, and all the suspension points, pickup points, all the geometry has been inserted into the standard car. All these things are things that will be crossed over to all sorts of different hot hatches, making this concept a great concept to have different manufacturers involved. So to buy an AP4 car like this one will be around $250,000, and yes, this is a lot of money, but in the context of things compared to what a Group N car used to cost, it's a realistic price for what is a fantastic car. We have to remember that the running costs of a car like this will be a lot lower than what we're used to, with a lot of the components being cheaper to buy than production parts off the shelf. Now sure, it's not full AP4 yet, but it gives us a great base to start from, something to work on and develop throughout the year, and of course to promote these new rules. For the future of regional rallying, particularly here in New Zealand and Australia, we have to move with the times and we have to find a replacement. And this is what I feel will be a feasible option for the long-term future of rallying, taking what is a modern-day looking WRC car into regional rallying, creating a lot more interest for the fans, the spectators, and also giving a platform where other manufacturers can easily become involved. Hyundai New Zealand are fully behind this project and promoting New Zealand rallying, and I'm fully behind the AP4.